Yes, the question is, if the Buddha Dhamma is unchangeable, why is Buddhism changing and declining in some countries? This is the question. So before I answer this question, I would like to say that these are two different aspects. Buddha Dhamma is one thing and Buddhism is another thing. Then there won't be any more problem. Vast difference between Buddha Dhamma and Buddhism. Buddhism is changing, no one can stop it. But there is nobody in this world who can change the Buddha Dhamma. The Buddha also cannot change it. Then what is Buddha Dhamma? Buddha Dhamma means the Dhamma taught by the Buddha. The truth revealed by the Buddha. But Buddhism is a different subject that we have built up by depending on Buddha Dhamma. For the last 2,500 years, all over the world, people have been building, changing, according to their way of life, their way of thinking, their needs, their understanding, their culture. That is Buddhism. That is why we can see there are so many differences amongst various Buddhist communities or countries. Buddhism was originated in northern India. In that Buddhism, you can see Indian tradition, Indian culture, Indian way of life. That is Buddhism. But Buddha Dhamma is not based on Indian tradition, Indian way of life. Then, when this Dhamma was introduced to some other countries like China, Japan, Korea, Mongolia, Tibet, Thailand, Burma, Sri Lanka, and some other countries, they have organized this religion according to their way of life. That is Buddhism. When we get together, we can see the vast difference. But the weakness is this. One group is trying to point out that their method, their system, their way of practicing this religion is right. Others are wrong. That is the wrong attitude. Mostly Theravada Buddhist countries like Thailand, Burma and Sri Lanka belong to one particular school. Of course, supposed to be historically, there is no controversy whatsoever. Historically, it is the oldest. And all the other schools which appear from time to time are spread all over the world. They have organized according to their way of life and understanding, and what sort of information and what sort of Buddhist texts that they have collected and how they have translated into their own language. Then the differences started from there. Not only that, there are many things in the Buddha Dhamma which people could not understand, appreciate. So what they have done, they have modified and elaborated, decorated, and introduced in such a way for people to develop their faith and confidence and devotion. That is how changes have taken place. That today, they are trying to show or tell others that their method is correct. Others are wrong. I told you that attitude is wrong. But when we come to the Dhamma, there won't be any difference. Because there is nobody in this world who can change the Dhamma. If we change, that means we distort, we pollute the purity of the Dhamma or the truth revealed by the Buddha. We interpret according to our limited knowledge. We explain by using very shallow, very narrow ideas if you are going to change. Of course, there are many things which we cannot understand. It will take time. A truth revealed by an enlightened person who had no selfishness, craving, anger, jealousy, or even human emotion in his mind. So, because of the purity and wisdom in his mind, he has seen the truth. And why we cannot see the truth? Because our minds are deluded, misled, clouded with all sorts of selfish ideas. Our worldly needs, our own satisfaction, our sensual pleasure, our craze, these things are working in our mind. So whatever we take into our mind, whether it is religion or philosophy or politics or science, those mental impurities which prevail in our mind, we interpret according to our way of thinking. Let us take few examples. We talk about Nibbana or Nirvana. Whatever we preach, according to the original text or the teachings of the Buddha, you create your own Nirvana according to your way of thinking. It is impossible for you to appreciate and understand the clear picture of Nirvana because your minds are deluded. You may think, oh, it is very dull, very boring, nothingness, no fun, no pleasure, no happiness. This is your way of thinking. Because all your thinkings are bound to worldly material things, pleasure. If there is no pleasure, you are not interested. That means we are worldly minded people. So what we are trying to do by applying, by cultivating our mind, we try to reduce the worldly bondages. All our problems, miseries, worries, misunderstanding, jealousy, enmity, grudge, cruelty, we maintain because of this worldly mind. We blame each other, accuse each other because of this. So we have to make use of religion to reduce these evil forces or weaknesses or disturbances from the mind. But it seems every religion, not only Buddhism, whatever religion people preach, practice, organize, we can see a lot of human weaknesses. Through religion, we try to develop our selfishness, our jealousy and discrimination. To many people, religion has become real nuisance. They say religion is irrational. Introduce more dogmas and superstitions, blindfold mankind. Another group says, because of religion, we discriminate each other, hate each other, divide into various groups. All are human beings. One group cannot get along with the other group. Jealousy, enmity, hatred. Then what is the purpose of religion? The purpose of religion is for us to live peacefully. But we use religion to aggravate the situation, to arouse our hidden jealousy and hatred also. And we never give up our very strong egoism, whatever we learn. Recently, I was attending an inter-religious seminar. Followers of all those religions were there. Then one speaker mentioned all those prophets who appeared in this world just cut the grass, but they have not removed the roots of the grass or the lalam. Only their prophet has done that. He has uprooted. He has removed the roots of the lalam. He mentioned this in front of various other religionists. Here you can understand how people try to glorify or maintain some sort of superiority feeling to point out that their religion is the best and only religion, but all the others are not that advanced. So according to him, all the other prophets who appeared in this world are grass cutters. This is the human mentality. Then how can we cultivate our unity and harmony, understanding through religion? This is the danger of this ism, whether it is Buddhism or any other ism. The Buddha did not introduce any ism. He introduced only Dhamma or Dharma. What is Dharma? When we explain, you can understand what is Dhamma and what is Buddhism. And all those missionaries and others who criticize and condemn, ridicule Buddhism by talking about certain activities organized by so-called Buddhists. The Buddha has never introduced any of these practices. And they also cannot understand what the Buddha taught. They never talk anything about the Buddha Dhamma, the Dhamma taught by the Buddha. Then what do they talk about? They talk about idol worshipping. They talk about burning papers and joysticks. They talk how people waste so much of money in the name of their religion, burning this, burning that, performing all sorts of rites and rituals and this and that. But can they analyze and explain and point out any weakness or the loopholes or the mistake in Buddha Dhamma? They cannot do that. They cannot understand. We also condemn and criticize. Many things organized by ordinary people for their own satisfaction in the name of religion. Some others remain as free thinkers. They got fed up with religion because they have learned only ism or religion organized by the people. Now, can they single out one particular issue or the subject discussed by the Buddha? Let us start from the beginning. Five precepts or five religious principles introduced by the Buddha for us to observe. Can they say there is something wrong there? If not, three basic principles of Buddha Dhamma. Within 3 lines, Buddha has summarized 45 years teaching. What did he say? Sabba papassa akarana. Abstain or keep away from all evil deeds. People can understand what are the evil deeds. Kusalassa upasampada. try to cultivate good qualities and virtues and good deeds. Sachitta pariyodapana. Maintain healthy mind, purity in your mind. Try to eradicate the evil forces that you maintain in your mind. If you have completed these three stages, you have completed your journey. Etang buddhana sasana. This is the message or the dispensation of all the Buddhas who appeared in this world and also who will appear in time to come. This is the message. Now, is there any sane person in this world who can say that something is wrong in this message? Then what is there for all those people to criticize and condemn in Buddhism, in the Buddha Dhamma? Yes, we experience a lot of difficulties when we are going to practice. That is our weakness. That is not the weakness of the Buddha Dhamma, that is our weakness. When we want to stop certain bad habits, bad things, bad deeds, bad words, we feel difficulty. Then can we blame the Buddha or the Dhamma for that? That is our weakness. So when we are going to cultivate certain good virtues and the qualities, we feel it is very difficult. That is our weakness, because we have not done this earlier. So nothing wrong with the Dhamma or the Buddha. When we try to maintain healthy mind, to avoid all sort of worries and miseries and disturbances and enmity and jealousy, we feel it's very, very difficult. Also, it is our weakness. Now, what we want is somebody else to come and do this for us. That is very easy. Just go and worship and pray, not necessary to keep away from bad things, not necessary to do good things, not necessary to maintain healthy mind. Go and pray and worship. Somebody else can do for you. The Buddha did not introduce that type of religion for you to practice. That is why people always say it is very hard, very difficult to practice. Our way of life, our way of thinking, and our greed, our crazy attitude for pleasure, and by developing selfishness and cunningness, we have gone so far away from the basic teachings of the Buddha. Now when we are going to practice, we feel very difficult. That is the problem. So here the question is, we always say the Buddha Dhamma is unchangeable. What is the word used by the Buddha? Akaliko. You recite this. Akaliko, ehipassiko, opanaiko, pacchattam, veditabbo, vinyoi, Dhamma. So Dhamma is akalika. That means there is no time limit for this Dhamma. That means we can experience the good result at any time if we really practice. There is no time. Before his passing away, the Buddha said, if my disciples or the followers really practice the teaching that I have given to them, Yavakivancha subhadda bhikkhu samma vihareyum asunyo loko arahantehi assa. This is the word, the sentences, the statements made by the Buddha. These statements you can see in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the last sermon. Meaning, as long as my disciples means those who follow my teaching, practice the advice given by me, you can find Arahantas and holy saints in this world. Always. There is no time limit for that. Today people are going in searching all over the world whether there are Arahantas in certain countries. Some people go to India, some others go to Burma and Thailand and China to find out whether there are saints or Arahantas. And they say very hard to find out. So they think this is the failure of Buddhism. It is not the failure of Buddhism, failure of mankind. If we are not saints, if we are not Arahantas, that means something is wrong with us. Nothing wrong with Buddhism. Why do you want to blame Buddhism? So according to your way of life, today you want some sort of shortcut. You think it is very difficult for you to understand Four Noble Truths, and very difficult to follow Eight Noble Paths, Eight Methods, very hard. But without understanding the Four Noble Truths, without practicing Eight Noble Paths, we try to find out some sort of shortcut to find out the final goal. You have forgotten what the Buddha has said in Satipatthana Sutta. Remember, Ekayano bhikkhave, Ekayano bhikkhave. Eka means one. There is only one method. There are no two methods, remember this. It does not mean that one method is Buddhism. No. There is no ism there. There is no religion. Ekayano bhikkhave and magga, path. There is only one path, one method. What is that method? What is that path? For what purpose? Sattanang visuddhya for the purifications of the human mind. Soka pariddavanang samatikkamaya. To wipe out all our worries and miseries and mental disturbances. Dukkha domanassanang attagama. To see the end of our physical and mental suffering, unsatisfactoriness. Jnanassa adhigamaya. To gain knowledge and wisdom, realization. Nibbanassa satchakiriya. To experience the nibbanic bliss. Then what is this? Chattaro satipatthana. 4 kinds of mindfulness. That's all. There is no any other method. And these 4 methods, when you contemplate, we can understand there is nothing for us to bring from outside, either from heaven or from any other part of the world, but all are here within us. That is why he says, Imasmincha vyamamatte kalebare lokancha loka samudayancha panchabe. Within this small size body, you can see the origin of the world, existence of the world, end of the world. Here, if you know how to analyze. All the elements, all the energies that will exist in any part of the universe, you can find here. If you know how to analyze, then concentrate. Nothing for you to bring from outside. Kaya-anupassana, Vedana-anupassana, Chitta-anupassana, Dhamma-anupassana. These 4. What are those 4? Concentrate this physical body by analyzing what it is. The things that we crave so much, develop so much attachment, but which gives us so much disturbances and pain, unhappiness in the end. Analyze. Concentrate. That is the one method. Then the mind that which is known as devil's workshop always gives enormous troubles and worries and miseries. Almost every day we come and complain, cry, accuse because of the mental attitude. Analyze this mind. See what it is. What are the ingredients in your mind? And why do you want to maintain this thing? For what purpose? And what you gain in the end? Analyze your mind. Then the feeling that you experience as pain and pleasure, pleasant and unpleasant, analyze. This moment you feel very nice, wonderful. Next moment, within few minutes, we feel very miserable, unbearable, unpleasant feeling. Experience through the 5 senses and the mind itself. Again, certain phenomena which exist in this world, Dhammata, people cannot understand. There is nobody in this world who can control this Dhammata. What is this Dhammata? Very easy for you to understand. Things come into existence, appear, whether life or plant life or anything else, or matters or elements. When they appear, you can see how changes take place. Whether you like or not, changes take place. Growing and growing and growing and growing, this changing. After growing up to certain period, then stand still. Then turn this way. Then going down and down and down and down and down, changing. Is there anybody in this world or any other part of the world who can stop this? This is called Dhammata. That is what the Buddha revealed to us. That is why I told you there is nobody for us to change in the Dhamma. Our duty is to understand and adapt our way of life and maintain some sort of contentment to avoid worries and temptation, disappointments. We are disappointed when we see our beauty, our complexion, our property, our name, our income, all these things are going down and down and down. We feel very sorry. But we never realize the vicissitude, atta loka dhamma, the nature of worldly condition. You cannot stop according to your wish. The Buddha cannot change this, the God cannot change this, then who is going to change? That is Dhammata. Then, different kind of mental attitude which appeared in our mind, that we have cultivated, accumulated life after life. This mental attitude or our character, our temperament, our moods, our attitudes never appears suddenly. There's a link which is called mental tendencies, mental habits. All these habits we continue life after life. We are using so many habits that we have developed during our last birth, not only one birth, so many. Again we continue so many things that we use as our habit in the next life. This is the nature of mental attitude. That is the very reason why it is difficult to change the mind although we can understand. Supposing we are used to certain bad habits. We know they are very bad, very immoral, wicked, create lot of problems, but very difficult to change. This is our habit. On the other hand, there are some people, very few, who are very honest, kind-hearted, religious-minded. Under any circumstances, they never change their mind. Even at the risk of their life, also they never change their principles. There are very few. This is the way how the Buddha developed all the paramitas, 10 perfections and certain other qualities during his previous birth. Even at the risk of his life, he never surrendered his principle, even to protect his life or his own pleasure. To him, principles are more important. Otherwise, he never become a Buddha. So this is the way how we have to analyze. And now you can understand what the Buddha said. This is the only method for you to contemplate, concentrate, then realization appear in your mind. Then you are in the correct path. So without following, without practicing this noble method, according to the Buddha, whatever method we adopt to get rid of our unsatisfactoriness in our life, we never gain it. People think it is very easy for them to gain this simply by worshipping and praying. The Buddha has given a few parables for us to understand. When a man wants to cross a river, if any boat is not available, a man who strongly believes prayers, kneel down and pray whole day, asking the other bank to come and take him to the other side. He says, never work. You can pray but never work. But if you are wise, if the boat is not available, you can collect few pieces of wood and make a raft, and by using your effort, you can cross the river. That is the method introduced by the Buddha as 8 noble paths to cross this samsara, the oceans of suffering, without depending on others. Again, he says, when you pray, by creating your paradise in your mind, to climb the paradise, just like erecting a ladder to climb the heaven. Forever you can go on erecting this ladder, but you never reach the heaven. This is the Dhamma, but not Buddhism. In our Buddhism, introduced by us from time to time in different countries. People have introduced wonderful Buddhism. Still they are building the ladder to heaven in many countries. I told you there is no shortcut. So these questions now, the Dhamma is eternal, unchangeable. I told you it is akalika, there is no time limit, no old-fashioned Dhamma or no new Dhamma. Dhamma remain forever as Dhamma. There is nobody to create the Dhamma, nobody to change the Dhamma, nobody to destroy Dhamma. That is what the Buddha said in Anguttara Nikaya. He said, whether the Buddhas appeared or not, the Dhamma remains forever. That means Dhamma is not created by the Buddha. Now we are ignorant. Our concept, our belief, our ideas are not accurate. When people hold such views, then from time to time the Buddhas appear. This Dhamma, akkodena jine kodang asadung sadhuna jine jine kadariyang danena satchena alikavadina. This is Dhamma. Nahiverena verani sammanti the udachanang averena cha sammanti esa dhammo sanantano. This Dhamma is sanantana. Sanantana means eternal. This Dhamma is eternal. No one can deny. What is this? By creating hatred to overcome hatred created by another person. Never work. Then how to overcome it? By creating kindness, compassion, love and understanding, you will be able to overcome hatred, anger, jealousy, grudge and many other forces created by others. Esa dhammo sanantano. This Dhamma is eternal. You practice and see. Is there anybody in this world who can deny this? Again, certain good qualities and virtues that we introduce as dharma, actually, they are common to every religion. We cannot monopolize. Buddhists cannot monopolize. All these good qualities belong to Buddhism, or created or introduced only by Buddhists. There's no meaning at all. Let us take kindness, or compassion, honesty, or sincerity. Let us take only these two. Now when we analyze these, Christians, Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists and others, or those who have no religions also, some of them maintain these good qualities. Some are honest, some are kind. All are not cruel, all are not cunning. Then how can we claim this is Buddhism? This is the Buddha Dhamma. These are known as universal moral causation, universal moral causality, common to every human being. So one particular religion cannot claim. But there are many things that the Buddha has revealed to us, besides these good qualities. Then, the real meaning of the Dhamma still I did not explain. Then you can see the difference. What is the definitions of the Dhamma? We always use this word, Dhamma, 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 or Dharma. What is the meaning? Here, this is the meaning. Chatusu apayesu cha, vatta dukkhesu cha, apatamane katva dhareti Dhamma. That is the meaning. Beautiful. You might have heard this on many occasions in my talk, I remember. But always there are newcomers. That's why I'm repeating. When you read the 45 years teachings of the Buddha, the whole Tripitaka, Sutra, Vinaya and Abhidhamma, the same doctrine you can find sometimes in 100 places. That means the Buddha has not given all these sermons to one particular group. 45 years in different places, different groups, different people. That is why you can see the same teaching. Let us take 5 precepts. How many 100 times, places in Tripitaka? Or 8 noble paths, or 4 noble truths, and karma and rebirth and all these things. So in the same way, I am going on repeating and repeating again and again for you to revise. Now the meaning. Chatusu apayesu. 4 kinds of apaya. What is the meaning of apaya? What is apaya? Still you are not familiar with this Pali word. In simple language, apaya means hell. 4 kinds of hells. What are those 4? First one, Naraka, Tirachina, Peta, Asura. 4 kinds of hell. What is the meaning of Naraka? I think you know the meaning. In Bahasa also Naraka, isn't it? Same Pali word. In Malay also use the word Naraka. Do you know the meaning of this word Naraka? A place where there is no happiness. When you analyze this word, the meaning, the place where there is no happiness, either physically or mentally. Where living beings experience suffering throughout their life. More suffering, but not eternal. This is hell. This is Buddhist concept of hell. Hell is not a ready-made place created by anybody to punish. Hell is not located anybody under this earth or anywhere else. Religionists have illustrated this hell in such a way to create fear or frighten you But the Buddha did not introduce in that way. Very frankly, in his teaching, he said, hell is not located anywhere in any part of the universe. Whether here in this world or any other planet or any other part of the universe where living being exists and who experience more suffering physically and mentally, consider this as hell. This is the Buddhist concept. Then the next one, Tirachina. What is the meaning of Tirachina? Tirachina means those living beings who walk in this way, but not this way. Who are they? Who walk in this way? Who are they? Animals. Dogs and cats and all the pigs, they don't walk like this. Human beings are the ones who walk like this. Tirachina means those who walk like this. Of course, all kind of living beings, even birds also. Then what is the difference between humans and animals? Humans have sense of reasoning, understanding. Humans have emotion. Humans have sense of humor. Humans have intelligence. Animals have more instinct. They use their instinctive power that they have developed by nature for their living. They use this instinct only for their survival, to find out their food, shelter. Then to look after their young ones, to build their shelter. Birds, see how they build. And bees, see how beautifully decorative bees hive. Wonderful design. Who taught them? Nobody, by nature. So, then why do we regard them as unfortunate living beings? They are very unfortunate. You might have read Asia Week, last week. Did you read Asia Week magazine? How they slaughtered tigers and monkeys and all sort of living beings and cut into pieces, and how they sell. There you can see. Animals' lives is very, very uncertain. Always they are in fear. In fact, they attack others also because of this fear. And they do not know anything about their life, about their future. And they cannot mold, they cannot cultivate their way of life. Very difficult for them to cultivate virtues and knowledge and wisdom. These are the reasons we use to introduce them as unfortunate living beings. Otherwise, they may experience good food and good shelter, that is immaterial. But we are very fortunate in that respect. All the potentials, facilities are there, but our ignorance completely covered, blocked our way of thinking. Then we become biased, selfish, ideas, then all the other evil forces we develop. That is why we are wicked today. In fact, we are more wicked than animals. Because animals do not kill or torture others for nothing, for fun, for their food, for their survival. But human beings, actually they are not killing others for their survival. They have more than enough food. But they need extraordinary pleasure or fun as hobbies. Inside there is cruelty. They destroy all the other living beings in this world. But remember, other animals or other living beings destroy only certain living beings, only for their living. But they never disturb others. What about us? Human beings. We say we are cultured, civilized, religious, scientific, educated, all these sugar-coated words. But when you study unbiasedly, we are more uncultured and more cruel, more cunning than animals. We destroy all the other living beings that exist on the earth and in the water. Not only for our living, for so many other purposes. Therefore, how can we say we are more cultured? So what will happen? When we abuse our human dignity, human intelligence, and good qualities, after our death, there is no chance for us to be born as human beings again. Because we have misused and abused. That sense of reasoning is for us to understand these things. Then why do we regard animals as one of the hells? Just because of their unfortunate way of life, and they are completely in the dark. That is why easily they become victim to us. And nobody knows about their future. But we can mold, we can adjust our way of life. We can develop confidence, but they cannot develop confidence. Now this is the difference. Then the third one, faith. Faith means a spirit. There are different kinds of spirits. A spirit means invisible, unfortunate, living being that which exists. There is no separate place for spirit. Simply we say spirit world. There is no such world where spirit exists. But they do exist everywhere. Here also, nobody knows. On the earth, in the water, in our houses, in the jungle, in the rivers, everywhere a spirit exists. Some are very, very miserable and unfortunate, worse than animals. This is another unfortunate life. And the last one is Asura. The suitable word is either demons or devils or ghosts, are not spirit. There's difference between demons, ghosts and devils. The spirits belong to another group. They are so wicked and cruel and unfortunate. Their lives also very miserable. These are the four hells, regarded as hell. Then what is the Dhamma for? Chatusu apayesu. So one who uphold, one who maintain this Dhamma can avoid, can escape, never get into one of these four unfortunate states of hell. Dhamma will protect. Dhamma does not protect if you are not ready to practice the Dhamma. When you practice the Dhamma, automatically this Dhamma you protect. Protect. You will be protected by the Dhamma. How? Dhammo have rakhati dhammachari. Dhammachari, one who leads this righteous way of life, dhammic, righteous way of life, harmonize with the existing universal law. I told you Dhamma is a universal law. So when you harmonize, when you cooperate with the existing universal law, and that universal law always protect you. And you never get into one of these unfortunate states. That is Dhamma. See the meaning. Another meaning, deeper aspect. Vatta dukkhesucha. Vatta. We have three kinds of vatta dukkha. Then, because of this, repeated birth and death take place. It's called samsara chakra, the wheel of existence. Just like a merry-go-round. Once we go up and next moment we go down. This is the nature of wheel of existence. And today you are two-legged. And the next birth you will be four-legged. You will be more fortunate, you get two more extra legs. This is the nature of samsara chakra. By knowing the uncertainty of this wheel of existence, by following this Dhamma, we can stop this. Because this is uncertain, create more unpleasant feeling, unhappiness, always worries and miseries. Do away with all these things. Then we will be free. This Dhamma support us, help us to get rid of all these problems. This is the meaning of Dhamma taught by the Buddha. Another meaning, the roots of this word, Dhar. Now this earth is called Dharani, Pali and Sanskrit. Dharani means that which hold everything. So this earth can hold everything. Therefore we say this is dharani. So in the same way, dharma means this universal law of Dhamma hold us without allowing us to fall down. Get into one of these unfortunate states. Now you realize the meaning of Dhamma. Therefore, there is nothing for us to change in the Dhamma. But in Buddhism, as I mentioned earlier, forever changes take place. No one can stop this. And more new schools of Buddhism, new cults of Buddhism appear. No one can stop. They give new interpretation, new practices, new ideas, but they are not dharmas. They have gone far away from the Dhamma, but introduced something else in the name of ism. That is called Buddhism. So, actually I do not respect Buddhism. I have no faith in Buddhism. I have faith in the Dhamma taught by the Buddha. To me, ism is not important. Because Buddhism is the one that we have built up according to our way of thinking. But the most important thing is the advice given by the Buddha as Dhamma. The truth is there, but not in ism. So Buddhism is changeable, Dhamma never changes.